Hello, and thank you so much for clicking on this video. So it is another versus video, and this high-end brand is a Victor & Rolf, and it's a Flowerbomb perfume, and the dupe that I find for it is Flower Edition, and it's by an English company called Creative Colours International Limited. Apparently they're a cosmetics company, they do lots of makeup, face powders and stuff, but I've only ever came across the perfumes, and I think this is the best dupe I've ever came across in terms of the actual scent. It's 100% very similar. The only difference is I have an eau de parfum and this is an eau de toilette. So the intensity of the perfume, this is maybe just a watered down version, like the actual eau de toilette from Victor & Rolf Flowerbomb. Flowerbomb is not a perfume that I would usually buy for myself, but I have purchased it for other people, in particular my daughter. I usually purchase it for her birthdays and Christmas, and I always end up with these samples, and that's how I know the fragrance. And don't be afraid if you're purchasing perfume, particularly through Debenhams. Always ask for samples because they have drawers full of them, and 9 times out of 10 they usually do. They're very generous with the samples, but you'll always get the odd sales assistant that doesn't volunteer any samples, and you do have to ask for them, and I wouldn't be embarrassed at all asking for the samples. So this particular perfume I know because I've been using all these samples for a while now, and this is the eau de parfum is very intense. I sprayed this on my arm about an hour ago, and the smell still smells as intense as it did. I can smell it now even without putting my arm up. It is so strong. So if you're the sort of perfume, you're the sort of person that likes this intensity, then I think maybe just sticking to the eau de parfum is the best way to go, because a little goes a long way with this particular perfume because of the intensity. So even though it's expensive, I think it's about £55 for the 30 mils, a little goes a long way, and I think it works out sort of like a better economy. Whereas if you are going to spray the dupe to get the same intensity, I think you're just going to waste a lot of it to build up the intensity, and I don't think even it's going to build up to the same intensity as it does as the original, if that makes sense. But if you're the sort of perfume that if you're the sort of person that likes the eau de toilette, then definitely this is the way to go, because the important thing is the scent remains the same. It's very similar to the original. It's just simply a less intense version of it. And the bottle is actually the same as well. It looks like the original bottle. I think the only thing is the colour of the fragrance itself. That one looks like an orangey pink, whereas the original looks more like a pinky pink. And this is 100 mils, and the price is £3. Honestly, if you like the eau de toilette, then I think this is the best way to go. Now, I did spray that on my skin about an hour ago, and the scent is still there. Obviously, it's nowhere near as the eau de parfum, but I think in terms of the eau de toilette, it's still very good. Now, I don't know too much about that company, the Creative Colours Limited. I first came across these dupes when I visited a shop called the Old Factory Shop. I assume they're an English company, and I only know one in Northern Ireland, and that's the one in Oma. It's nowhere near me. When I'm passing through on somewhere else, I would perhaps call in. And the first time I seen these, I recognised the names to be very similar to the higher end perfumes, and I assumed that they were dupes. I actually, the first time I went in, I purchased one that was like the Marc Jacobs Daisy, and I was so impressed with it. I actually should have incorporated it into this video, and I can't find it anywhere. But the smell of that, it smelled exactly like the Marc Jacobs Daisy, and it's one of my favourite perfumes. So I was very impressed with it, and it was only £3 as well. And at the time, they didn't have a lot of stock of any of the other perfumes. They had all the testers, and they had a tester for the Flower Edition, and I knew right away that was the Flowerbomb. So I made a point when I was passing recently to call in again, and that's why I picked this up, and I'm so glad I did. They had other fragrances there. I think they had one that was very similar to Lady Millions, and a few others as well. So I maybe call it in again and see what else I can get, and see what else is a dupe for a higher end version. But in terms of matching the scent, these are hands down, they're really good. It's just, I think they don't last on the skin as long, and you're going to spray them. But for £3, I feel you can't really go wrong, and it's a really good way of actually testing out the fragrance before you might invest even in the original fragrance, just to see if you like it. Because some people, when they spray a fragrance on after it dries in, they maybe don't like it and change their minds. So this is actually a good way to test the fragrances out. There is a website called fragrancedirect.co.uk. If I can remember, link them in the description bar. But they do these perfumes as well from the same company. I think they're slightly more expensive. They're like £5.95, so that's almost actually double. I'm not sure about delivery charges. I do think they deliver international, because there was a little option there to change the British pounds to dollars and euros. So I think they do ship international. I'm not sure about the prices. So I will put the link to their website in the description bar, just in case you're interested in checking these particular perfumes out. So that is everything, and yeah, just to summarize, definitely if you like the more intensity of the smell of the eau de parfum, then I would just stick and save up and buy the eau de parfum. But if you like the eau de toilette version, then definitely this is a good way. It has the same scent, and for £3 I wouldn't be afraid to spray this quite liberally. And also it is a good way of trying the scent out. So that's it. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. If you've tried this brand before, or tried any of the scents from this brand and want to recommend something, please feel free to leave it in the comment section below as well. So if you've made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. I hope it's been helpful. And yeah, hope you have a lovely day or a lovely evening wherever you are. Thank you. Bye bye.